He said, I'm only doing real fights. And of course, I can't get up high in weight, but I'll fight him in a real fight at the weight that I'm at. But Jake Paul, I mean, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad.
Have you been impressed?
But one thing I like about him, one thing I do like about him, he's selling it. He's selling it, and he's making good money, and he's entertaining. I like it.
Is he? And Floyd, there were many people who believe you're the most talented fighter ever, period. So whatever you say to this question, I think...
As discussions heat up around Terence Crawford being hailed by many fans as the greatest boxer ever, Floyd Mayweather has taken to Instagram Live, hinting at a possible showdown with Crawford in 2026. Mayweather expressed interest in stepping back into the ring, framing the potential clash as a GOAT versus GOAT battle.
Like I am now.
How do you beat Floyd, though? Like, since nobody's been able to crack that code.
You think I would tell you?
He ain't fighting anymore. So that fight ain't gonna happen.
And there's no reason for him to be scared. You know? And I think that that might be the fight that he'll take out of all the offers that's out there.
The undefeated legend, boasting a flawless 50-0 record, didn't hold back when responding to growing fan opinions dismissing his GOAT status due to never being an undisputed champion, something Terence Crawford has now achieved across 3 weight divisions. Taking to Instagram Live, he responded strongly to critics undermining his legacy following Crawford's recent success. "I'm still 50-0, and Crawford hasn't reached that yet," he asserted. He emphasized his superior resume, noting that he's faced and defeated more Hall of Famers and world champions than Crawford. He also reminded viewers of his victory over a younger Canelo Alvarez, highlighting that Canelo, even back then, was no easy opponent.
What are we rating on?
Okay.
Well, we're going to know. In the least amount of fights, you know, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
Mayweather claimed that the version of Canelo he faced years ago was quicker, stronger, and far more dangerous than the one fighting today. He dismissed the current Canelo as being far past his prime, pointing out that the Mexican star hasn't scored a knockout in half a decade. "That's not the same Canelo I went up against," he said, insisting that his level remains unmatched in today's boxing landscape. During his live stream, a fan dropped a pointed comment that Floyd chose not to address. The message read, "Sure, you faced a younger Canelo, but he was weight drained and restricted by a rehydration clause. Crawford met him at a far more natural weight without any catch-weight conditions. He's the superior athlete." Instead of engaging with that critique, Mayweather shifted the conversation to a potential future showdown with Terence Crawford.
Who do you think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really...
What likely added fuel to Mayweather's frustration were Canelo Alvarez's post-fight comments. During his press conference following the bout, the Mexican star didn't hesitate to rank Terence Crawford above Mayweather, the very man who handed him his first professional loss. "I believe Crawford is on another level compared to Floyd," Alvarez said to reporters in Las Vegas after a dominant performance from Crawford. Canelo, now 35, is no stranger to Mayweather's elite skills. He experienced them firsthand in 2013 when, as a 23-year-old unified super welterweight champion, he was thoroughly outclassed over 12 rounds in what became a defining moment in Mayweather's career. Years later, speaking candidly on Mike Tyson's Hot Boxin' podcast, Canelo looked back on that fight with some regret, saying, "I was too young when I faced Floyd. I should have first fought guys like Miguel Cotto and Erislandy Lara to prepare for that level." The comments suggest he sees his loss to Mayweather not just as a defeat, but as a lesson in timing, and perhaps why he now holds Crawford in even higher regard.
Who do you think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fighter.
Canelo reflected on his loss to Mayweather with maturity, acknowledging that at the time he simply lacked the experience and mental sharpness needed to win. "I don't see it as a loss. I see it as a learning moment," he said in hindsight. Since then, Canelo has gone on to become a world champion in 4 weight classes and has cemented his status as one of the sport's biggest stars. On the other side, Terence Crawford is steadily building a legacy that many believe could eventually rival even Mayweather's. Though Crawford has tremendous admiration for Floyd, often speaking highly of his skills and achievements, he remains confident in his own abilities. He's openly stated that he believes he can beat anyone put in front of him, even Mayweather. Still, Crawford has made it clear that fighting Floyd was never a goal for him. Instead, he's given Mayweather his due respect, calling him one of the all-time greats and someone who paved the way.
With the way you beat Canelo tonight, Spence a couple of years ago, everyone is going to start making comparisons with your legacy to Floyd Mayweather. How do you feel you compare with Floyd with the resume you have now?
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
Although fans frequently compare Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Terence Crawford, and despite Mayweather's recent challenge to Crawford, the latter has consistently shown respect for the undefeated legend. Crawford openly admires Mayweather's achievements, and when questioned about the parallels between them, he didn't hesitate to recognize Floyd's status in the sport. Simply put, Crawford refers to him as the king, praising his greatness and the legacy he's built.
Excuse me, Crawford.
You know, right now, but earlier in his career, he was taking a lot of chances as well. So, you know, it just depends on which Floyd Mayweather.
He went on to say, "There are definitely similarities between us, but one key difference is that I tend to take more risks in the ring." He acknowledged that even Mayweather took significant risks earlier in his career, but it really depends on which version of Floyd you're referring to. Are we talking about Money Mayweather or Pretty Boy? Because Pretty Boy was known for aggressively hunting down his opponents.
Floyd, man, that boy, man, that's the GOAT, man, that boy bad.
What makes it, I mean, what, because, and I told people to say, look at Floyd. I said, Floyd, it's not that he trains, I mean, it's his life. And from the very beginning, he's like, I want to be the best.
Mayweather's hand injuries eventually affected his punching power, especially as he moved up to face larger opponents. Reflecting on his bout with Canelo Alvarez during a recent interview, Floyd revisited memories from that famous fight, which took place at a catchweight. "I only had that one fight at catchweight and it wasn't my idea," he explained. Anyone can look it up online. There's an article about it. He also recalled how, at one point, Canelo believed Floyd was hesitant to face him, saying, "Floyd doesn't want to fight me. I'm ready to meet him at 152 or 152.5 pounds.
You talk about, do you talk about money or do you talk about Pretty Boy? Because Pretty Boy was the seek and destroy fighter.
I called his bluff and said, "If you want to do this, let's make it at 152 or 152.5 pounds. But once Canelo hit the scale, there was no restriction stopping him from gaining weight afterward. While he officially weighed in at 152 or 152.5, he reportedly stepped into the ring closer to 168 or even 170 pounds. Meanwhile, I came in around 151 or 152 pounds. When asked about Canelo's power leading up to the fight, Mayweather wasn't fazed. Not at all, he said confidently. In the ring, it was nothing I hadn't experienced before. After more than 20 years in boxing, there's very little that can surprise me.
Which fight was more difficult between Mayweather or Bivol, and why?
I think both are similar. Just Bivol is bigger, so I think Bivol.
Mayweather's remarks could boost Crawford's confidence, particularly considering Canelo hasn't secured a knockout against any of his last 5 opponents.
You know, and like, you got to know that you don't go in and play with Mike because Mike is a killer.
Yeah.
And I thought he was one of the most entertaining things to ever come to boxing.
Yeah.
You know, I thought he really kept the game alive Right until I got there, he had kept alive for me. He opened the door because he was highly entertaining. Now he was a little bit crazy.
Interestingly, Floyd Mayweather Jr. recently revealed plans for an exhibition bout against Iron Mike Tyson, suggesting that any potential fight with Crawford might be pushed back, likely taking place only after his showdown with Tyson.
You can't fight. It's almost impossible to fight him clean. It's almost impossible to win
Canelo,
and fight him clean.
When
you can't fight clean with him.
See, Canelo wasn't exactly clean in that fight.
You can't fight this guy clean. That's a credit on how masterful he is. You have to be dirty. You got to be rough. You have to use elbows, head, bend it up. You have to use everything.
Two boxing legends are set to face off in an exhibition match slated for next year. Although the exact date and venue haven't been finalized, organizers are aiming for a spring 2026 event. TMZ was the first to break the story, with Uncrowned later confirming the details. Tyson himself shared the announcement on X this past Thursday. This exhibition won't count toward either fighter's official professional record, which is especially beneficial for Mayweather, who proudly holds an unbeaten 50-0 record in pro boxing. Tyson has been teasing the bout on social media with promotional posters, hyping it up as an epic yet somewhat puzzling matchup for an exhibition fight. At 59 years old, Tyson came out of retirement in 2024, but suffered a lackluster loss to Jake Paul. Before that comeback, his last professional fight was back in 2005.
Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather are fighting each other. Let me say it again. Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather are actually fighting each other. Not a drill, not a prank. This is actually happening. TMZ Sports has learned that.
Now is the boxing world is crazy. Hold on, I have to see this. Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson agreed to Superfight, legend versus legend. You got to be shitting me. Sorry to all the showbiz kids out there. Two of the greatest boxers of all time have...
Mayweather, now 48, last stepped into the professional ring in 2017. Since then, he's taken part in several exhibition matches, including one against Logan Paul, the brother of Jake Paul. His most recent exhibition was last August against John Gotti III, over a year after their initial bout was canceled, following a chaotic incident involving both camps. That wraps up our update for now. For the latest news, highlights, and events from the world of boxing, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our quality content. Until next time, take care and peace out.